Hi, Lisa Teague again. We're going to shift gears here and talk a little bit about some of the services and things that we have provided in the park over the years, including harm reduction. For more than 4 years, Rico and I have been coming out to the park nearly every Saturday to distribute harm reduction supplies and basic needs to people in People's Park. It became more than just a distribution. It became a time to check in, to make sure that people were okay, and to see if they had any other needs that we could help them with. I can say, and I know you've seen in the press that People's Park has been troubled by overdoses over the years, but I can say with perfect certainty that more overdoses were reversed by Narcan distributed in the park than actually occurred. I believe that this work, as even at the smallest level, is vital for people who live on the streets, for those people who are just trying to exist.
In the first 16 days after January 4th closure of People's Park, 5 community members died. One of those people, Shawty Grateful, was present at the park on the day of the closure. Not 1 week later, he was found dead on the UC Berkeley campus in front of Bear's Lair. As other community members have shared with the public, I too believe that Shawty and our other friends may still be alive today if they had had access to the harm reduction services and had been around the community members who could have seen them and seen what was happening and intervened. By shutting down our park so suddenly and violently, many of our community members who were sober have been pushed into relapse, not just the ones that have died. The trauma that this has caused to our community, the disruption to our flow of resources, has caused tangible and irrevocable harm to our community structure.
Still, we have continued to do our best for our community despite the challenges. In the immediate aftermath of the police raid and occupation, a free store was created to distribute all the donations that were flooding in as people became aware of our displacement. Staffed by volunteers and operated 24/7 for 6 weeks out of the Chuck Herrick Peace and Freedom Memorial Park, which you may know as the Dwight Triangle, but not anymore, okay? We are continuing to try to utilize that space to distribute donations, to distribute harm reduction supplies and meals. However, despite voting to open the Dwight Triangle for community gathering space and possibly chess tables on October 10th, 2023, we were recently locked out of the Dwight Triangle by Berkeley Police Department. We're unclear as to why the officer who locked us out said that this space, which in City Council records has been designated as an appropriate space for community gathering, is too small for us to safely gather in. We have not received any kind of answer on that question.
As Lisa just said, we are working to restore the Chuck P. Herrick Peace and Freedom Memorial Park and hope to host a rededication soon. On March 7th, a lock was placed on the fence by UCPD to keep us out. despite the fact that Alex Knox from the Telegraph Business Improvement District said that they would not touch our memorial. All but one photo on the ofrenda was thrown away. The remaining photo was saved by a community member, who was pregnant and due to give birth in 2 weeks. She actually had to get an emergency C-section last night. The baby's okay, it's all good. When she took the photo, the police present threatened her with arrest, despite the fact that it was about to be thrown in the trash. The next day, Officer Peters of Berkeley PD told them that they can't sit on the sidewalk outside the gate, saying that they were loitering. Again, this was a 9 months pregnant person sitting on the sidewalk, and the police kicked her out. Later that same day, Officer Peters came back and threatened to arrest myself and Bella for painting on the sidewalk, saying that it was vandalism. The stress from this incident, which they were present for, the person who was pregnant, pushed them into active labor, and she had her first contractions as Officer Peters and Grant lectured and spoke down to us, lying multiple times to our faces, mentioning community members both present and absent by name, clearly demonstrating a level of Berkeley PD surveillance undertaken in Southside. And as Lisa mentioned, the reason that they told us we weren't allowed to gather there is that the space is too small for us to safely occupy. I don't know who's been out there, but it is plenty large for us to gather. And as Lisa said, it is the only public gathering space left in our district now that they've closed People's Park. Everywhere else is either sidewalk that we're not allowed to sit on, apparently. We're not even allowed to stop and set up chess tables, or private property or UC property. This is just one instance of the continued gendered violence against women in our community by male police and Apex security guards.
In the